I shouldn't have pre-roll ads on.
Come on now. Get into the groove.
Settings. Channel.
Try this one too.
I have pre-roll ads disabled. I have pre-roll ads disabled. I don't know why it's on. You can stack up to 3 mid pre. No. Disable pre-rolls.
Come on now.
Key pre-roll ads. Disable. Pre-roll ad notification.
You can try this one too.
Enable to run stream display. Dude, I have ads on 0. I have ads on 0. Oh my god, dude. I feel so shitty right now. I don't know why everything's fucked up, dude. Advanced settings. Auto snooze, ad free. Automatically snooze ads during high engagement moments. Oh, that's kind of cool. First ad delay. Enable or disable ad notifications. This is kind of cool. I didn't know this was a thing.
Come on now. Get into the groove. You can try this.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding how it works. I might be misunderstanding. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Today's a really bad stream. We're gonna get better. I'm gonna do a better job. I'm gonna do a better job next time. I'm gonna figure out the settings and make it not constantly disconnect.
Probably had the cash to
Just keep watching this video, I guess.
buy a tried and tested fight stick, but probably weren't in the know enough to shell out for a hitbox. And while stick modding gained a lot of popularity during this time, it wasn't like people were itching to yank out their lever. The discussion simmered for a while, and some pros did switch, but none made more waves than the beast himself, Daigo Umehara.
これからヒットボックス使いたいっつうか、その勝てるコントローラーを使うね。パッドが強いんだったらパッドを練習するし。
In 2019, Daigo, considered to be the greatest Street Fighter player of all time, decided to switch to a leverless controller, and the debate fully entered the mainstream FGC consciousness. It was another title shift for fighting games. So I guess it's time to move away from history and towards the exciting world of SOCD cleaning.
And now, the guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
Where there's a big fancy acronym, you can be sure that I'm not far behind. Now, one of the biggest differences between levered and leverless controllers is the ability to input left and right, or up and down, at the same time. This is called simultaneous opposing cardinal directions, or SOCD. And it's at the core of what has made the hitbox and other leverless controllers so controversial. Before hitboxes went mainstream, games often wouldn't know what to do with SOCD inputs. In Marvel 3, for example, it actually just sends both inputs to the game. So you could essentially block in both directions at once, or
That
just
would
break
be
the
OP
game.
as
Games
fuck.
just weren't designed to deal with these conflicting inputs, so they had to be cleaned. Essentially, either the hardware, the controller, or the software, the game, would have to actually decide what to do with them. To break it down for you, these are the 3 most common ways to clean those inputs. There's neutral, which doesn't send
This is a whole new level of nerd. And I'm here for it. Yeah. the simultaneous, what do they call it? Simultaneous something cardinal directions. Something about cleaning them. That's an interesting concept.
Either input until one of the buttons is released, last input priority, which sends whatever the last input was, or absolute priority, which forces a specific direction when SOCD is inputted. For example, up plus down always defaults to up.
And that was the guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
Now, Daigo's controller was controversial partly because it used last input priority, or last win cleaning. The effects of this on Street Fighter V's Guile were immediately obvious in a game that literally counts every frame.
新しい発見というよりは、まあ、頭の中で可能だろうなと思っていたことが実際に、まあ、その理論通りにできて、まあ、そういう感動はありましたね。例えば、まあ、自分の使ってるガイルだと、わかりやすいんですけど、普通はしゃがんでいる状態からサマーソルトキックを出すときっていうのは一瞬ニュートラルを経由するので、下から上っていうコマンドなんで、そうニュートラルの最中に相手の攻撃を食らっちゃうことっていうのがあったんですよ。ただヒットボックスの場合はその下から上の間にニュートラル通らないんで、ガイルがしゃがんだ状態から無敵状態になってサマーソルトが打てるとか、そういうのは理論上可能だろうなと思ってたし、実際やってみて。
Computer issues and constantly disconnecting, and I think it was a setting problem, and I just changed it to Twitch's like maximum limit right now, so hopefully I have less issues with that. I haven't had many issues with it in the past, so something must have changed in the last month on Twitch's side, that or OBS's settings or something that doesn't let me do that anymore. And it was like causing a lot of disconnects, and I feel really bad because I've been spamming everybody in my Discord if they have the notification. Sorry, Doink. But also I had a blue screen earlier, so I've been having problems, and my stream has restarted a total of like 6 times, which is stupid.
見たらできてすごく有効だったので、それは感動しましたね。
Capcom came out and said that the use of the controller gives the competition an advantage that does not follow the spirit of the Capcom Pro Tour before they banned it. Now, Daigo didn't get to use his leverless controller at Combo Breaker, but he committed to continue to practice both kinds of controllers, since it was allowed at subsequent tournaments. The debate never really died, but this event sparked a whole new round of awareness and arguments. Slowly but surely, all kinds of leverless controllers were explicitly made legal at major tournaments. Then, in August 2022, Daigo became an official brand ambassador for Hitbox.
どれぐらいっていうのはすごい難しいですけど、やっぱりそのレバーだとどうしても生じる、左から、左っていうか、まあ、後ろから前とか下から上とかっていうそういう単純な操作にどうしても、レバーだったり、パッドコントローラーだったりするとタイムラグが出るんですけど、まあ、ヒットボックスの場合はそのタイムラグがないですよね。でそれは、まあ、長い目で見れば必ず、有利に働くだろうなと思ってましたし、まあ、事実今日本ではトッププレイヤーも多くの人がレバーレスコントローラーに移行してます。
Now, there will be people in the audience who rightly reply that controllers can also do this. And yeah, it's true. If you have a controller with both a D-pad and a thumbstick, you can actually send both inputs at once. But
I never thought about that.
It's not as if banning pads is a realistic solution.
The fighting game community is so niche and so small that alienating a group of it is a really bad idea. That shit is already on life control. So you are going to then take this small community and remove a big part of it.
One more thing. The claims about reaction times are actually pretty convincing. Tokido, one of the great legendary Japanese pros, actually did a comparison of both inputs.
5から6だな。安定してるわ。止まった。
So for the level controller, dashes take 5 or 6 frames most of the time.
これがやはりです。
As expected, we proved. Why is he wearing a fucking lab coat? That's actually funny. with numbers that using a leverless controller is quite
レ
strong.
バーレスダッシュが強いと呼ばれる
Dang, leverless is
の数字で
broken.
厳密にガッチガチで分かってしまったわけですね、今回の。
A 3 to 4 frame difference to an elite fighting game player is an eternity. The hitbox represents an advance in efficiency, sure, but sometimes that efficiency can enable strategies that weren't considered effective before. That doesn't mean that a hitbox is better at everything. There are some inputs, like 720s and half circles, that might actually be easier on stick. And that might actually be a bigger factor
Yeah.
for determining whether hitbox will remain
kinda had
competitive
that,
in the future. If you've ever played Street
Dude,
Fighter 2, you
I
probably
wonder if fucking Tranos should use a stick, if that's the case. What are you guys up to today? What are you doing, Bush? Anything fun? Anything exciting? What game are you playing today, man? If any game at all. Also, I don't remember. I know Alpaca hates fighting games. Maybe hate's a strong word. I know Alpaca doesn't like fighting games, but how do you feel about fighting games?
probably realized that older games do very little to help you input a special move. But modern fighting games are designed to give the player a bit of leeway in terms of input, and a hitbox is sometimes able to turn that leniency into input shortcuts. Now,
Ooh, you're a Smash player. Dude, did you see what happened to fucking Mango, man? Dude, Mango be acting up, bro. Mango's permanently been an alcoholic forever, and now they finally bit him in the ass, dude. I played some Smash too. Did you guys ever play those like other Smash type games, like the other platform fighters? Like, what was that one that was called? What was that one that they had? That was like, what the fuck was it? It had like fucking Bugs Bunny and Johnny Bravo and shit. Like, what was that called? I'm not playing anything at the moment. I leveled my Warlock a bit and WoW. Oh, at work. Oh, okay. I saw his name being thrown around. No idea who it is or what. So Mango, Multiverses. That's what I was thinking. So Mango is like basically one of the most popular competitive Smash players. And he's kind of been widely known in the community to be like, have kind of an alcohol problem. You'd say Ludwig grossly enabled him. Ludwig definitely enabled him from the clips that I saw. You know, I don't know. They were partying and yeah, it was kind of like they just got way too drunk and he was doing some inappropriate stuff on stream and he got in trouble. He got dropped from his sponsor basically. And yeah. I watched the Hungry Box Wizrobe finale. Fafo, what's that? I'm not very good. I don't know much about Smash, to be honest. I've always kind of been more into fuck around and find out. Oh yeah, yeah, he definitely fucked around and found out. I feel bad, but also like, dude, I don't know. He kind of had it coming for sure. It's one of those things that I think it was kind of a last straw. Like, it's probably been, like, an ongoing issue between him and his, like, team or whatever. His sponsorship team. But he got dropped from his, from Cloud9, basically. I wonder if he's going to keep playing.
if that leniency were to change, things might be different.
Because the input leniency in this game is super free. All you need is a down, a forward input, a down, and a forward input.
昔初めてそ
For
のストリー
example,
トファイタ
if
ー
you
が
look
出
at
てきた
Zangief's screw command, currently the way it's
時
set up
にそのザンギエフのコマンドっていうのは1回転っていうコマンド
is that you have to only put one of the 4 directions, but in the past, you had to circle the lever. Oh yeah, input leniency probably favors hitbox quite a bit. One more reason I don't hardly drink. Dude, I don't hardly drink either, man. Yeah. I don't I'm not about it. That's for sure.
表記だったんですよ。本当に1回転だったかどうかは分かんないんですけど、まあ1回転っていう表記で、でそれが今は
So they're basically
少なくとも
saying
ストリートファイター5に関して
that like because of the modern approach to fighting games to make them a little bit more accessible, that the hitbox even has even more of an advantage than what it has in the past, because arcade sticks were something that you could be more precise on with that bigger range of motion, but with the ability to, you know, the difference between like left, down, right, and up or whatever, and the diagonals. Like that's really the thing about the arcade stick itself, is like doing a diagonal motion is a little bit easier. But you don't really have to do that if it's like the input leniency is there. It's 'cause people have min-maxed the hell out of fighting games. Dude, they really have min-maxed the hell out of fighting games.
4方向だけで出る。だからまあレバーを使ってれば4方向だからこうぐるって回せば出るんですけど、でもこれがメーカーが本当に1回転分のコマンド入力をしないと技が出ませんっていう仕様にしてきたら少し、今の
People have min-maxed the hell out of gaming
自
in
分の使う
general.
キャラクターによっては
I totally agree. It's kind of interesting. Like, what game is out there that people don't try to min-max? Like, people try to min-max literally every single game. I feel like it's like hardwired into gaming now. I don't know. I think hardwired should be a deciding factor. Oh, hardware shouldn't be a deciding factor if it's competitive. Well, that's the thing, Alpaca, is there are advantages to different controllers, but there are people who play at the top level who just use a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, and they have won tournaments and they use like game pads, or people like every single option is like playable at a tournament level, but there are advantages to and disadvantages to each hardware option. So are you saying that in order to play on a tournament level, like they should have a standardized like controller? Like in order to play in this tournament, you have to use this type of controller? Because that goes back to what they were talking about, right? Like that fighting games already are a niche community, and limiting people on what they can use is a dangerous thing if you want to keep the scene alive. Just revert back to button mashing. So I, for one, honestly like the min-maxing. Like when you say people have min-maxed the hell out of gaming in general, I don't put a negative spin on that personally. Like there is and there isn't, I think. You know? Like I am fascinated by the intricacies of a person who has mastered something. Like you can use any sort of game that is played at a competitive level. We were talking about League earlier. League is a really good example of like the people who have made careers off of League. And don't you like think that those people who are able to play that game at that certain level, right? I'm going to use League because it's more general here and I feel like it's more accessible to this like conversation. But I feel like, don't you kind of admire like the person who's put in that much effort to be that good at the game, to be able to play at that sort of level and be better than anybody else, like Faker, right? Like, isn't it like an admirable kind of thing? Or is that like a negative thing? Like, why does everyone have to play games so like to that extent? Like, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I don't know. It's like, where do you draw the line? I think that's up to, you know, I think it really depends. Because if you're talking about competitive, on a competitive level, like as long as you're not doing self-harm, like there is no line. It's you do whatever you can to be the best that you can be if you're playing at a competitive level. Like playing against other top level people is one thing. I think that games, there's a lot of parallels between games and sports now, that really there is no line. And you know, it's like if you're talking about competitive games, smurfing is another, and that's not admirable. I agree. Like, and that's why, honestly, I mean, smurfing sucks, dude. But like, I guess that's one aspect of people being too try-hard that's kind of annoying. Like, when you are not facing, when there's not a fair matchup of skill, when the matchmaking is like, oh my god, I have to play against this guy who's so much better than me, you know, and then that's like kind of a frustrating aspect because you're going to lose. But really, if you're trying, I don't know, like, I just think it's cool that there is people who try to get as good as possible at a game. But there is definitely like a line there for sure when it's like, well, let's just have some fun. That's why you just button mash and confuse them. You can't predict my movements if I can't. See, you would think that would be a good option, but you're absolutely wrong. Just because, like, the way people play, if they just play defensive, you know, and they don't give you windows, like, you can play unpredictable, but you are going, the thing about playing unpredictable is, like, your unpredictable options will inevitably put you in a position that they will be able to punish you, and every trade that you end up making or taking you'll just constantly get outpaced. Like, I don't know. If I go into a match and try to button mash against somebody, it's just not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, even at the, you know, I'm not like at a super high level, but even at the level that I'm at, if I try to go in and just button mash against somebody, you're just going to die. You're just going to die. Because you'll just inevitably use, like, unsafe options. And that's what this game is all about, right? It's just, like, minimizing and maximizing, like, your safe and unsafe options. But, hey, if you have fun button mashing, then you play against other button mashers. Is that actually fun? I don't know. I think it's actually more fun to have a structured approach to the game. And, like, if I go into a match, right, and both people are button mashing and it's just random, then there's no skill expression. There's no, like, I don't know, and that's what I find fun about this type of game. In a lot of other games, honestly. You know? Yeah, I think it is true that people have min-maxed every game, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I just think there's a time and a place, like you're saying. Like, it just depends on the environment. That's really the factor. It's not even, like, to an extent, because I feel like when you're talking about a competitive game, then there is no limit. There is no, like, whatever. Like, if people are, you know, playing for the world first and there's, like, $1 million on the line or whatever, and they're treating it like a sport, and at that point, it literally is a sport. Like, it is an esports, but it's a sport. And it should be like, you know, as long as there's not like some law that you're breaking or whatever, or doing some sort of like self-harm or whatever, taking drugs or whatever the fuck, like, then there is really no limit. But like in this environment where I'm just playing with friends, it all completely depends on the environment, right? It's like, okay, well, do my friends want to play in a way that, like, we're trying to be as good as we possibly can? Or do we want to just, like, wow, that special looks cool. Wow, that's a cool looking move. Oh, my God. But I never have played fighting games like that. You know, it's just an element to it. But really, the backbone of it is always, like, how good can we get? How good? I want to be good. Like, I want to be good. And I guess there's gray area. Because whenever I play League, every single game of League isn't, I want to be as good as possible. There's elements of like, ooh, I really like playing Nidalee. She's cool. I kind of suck at her and I might lose, but like, I think she's cool. I like her abilities, and I want to see what kind of cool combos and stuff I can do with my teammates. And it's not necessarily all about winning, but that is a backbone. You don't want to just lose. You're going to try to win. Right? Like, you're going to try to win. You want to go into the League game and you want to win. You don't want to just go lose. I guess it depends. Maybe some people approach it like that. Maybe some people play League and they're like, well, I don't really care. I got to play my character that I like to play. I lost. That's fine. I spent 20 minutes farming creeps, you know? You stopped caring about winning a long time ago. That's it. That's just, there's no shot. There's no shot. I've played with you. You care about winning. I mean, we play with Crocky, but you want to do well. You want to do well. You yourself want to do well, right? And also, Crocky has gotten significantly better than when he first started playing a few months ago. Do you remember Crocky playing League I remember playing League with Crocky the very first time versus playing League with Crocky recently. He's gotten so much better. I know, I just wanted to make a joke about winning in reverse. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sorry. Even now I'm taking this conversation too seriously. Look at me. I don't know. I like playing games in like a competitive fashion, but I also like to have fun, and fun is the primary thing that I want to do in the game, right? Like, but sometimes there's a lot of crossover between playing a game for fun and trying to play a game like in a way that you want to play it well. And you want to be perceived as doing well in the game or being good at the game. And I take a lot of enjoyment from that, you know? Like if I play a game and I'm like, oh, I did well. Oh, I did a good job. Oh, I played that how like optimally. I did a good job. I definitely like to do well and carry, win or lose. Yeah, that's another thing is some people will play that like, okay, regardless of winning or losing, as long as they played well. And you kind of have to do that in a team game. You can't really attach too much emotion to winning or losing because sometimes you just don't have the like ability to guarantee yourself to win or lose. So if you put too much emotion on winning or losing in a team game, then you're just going to be mad at your friends all the time, your teammates. Especially on Dark Harvest champs. I want to get more stacks than anyone. Either team. Oh, that's a good, yeah, that's a good like little side goal to play for. Like Heartsteel and I know I hear Alpaca talk about the Heartsteel thing all the time. I'm mad at my team when they clearly don't try. Yeah. Yeah. See, some people would call you too try hard, right? Like there's some people in some environments that would be like, dude, this guy's cringe. How dare he get mad at me for, I just want to play the game and I just want to try a moo. He's sad mummy. Sad money. Do you guys find this conversation interesting? I always find this type of conversation really fascinating, but it's always like hard to tell whenever it's kind of one-sided, you know? Not everyone's talking. No? Okay. It's fair enough, dude. So far my progress on my hitbox is I've played it for about 2 days now. This is the second day of trying it. And I can do most things, but I do have trouble in like block strings, and I think I'm kind of like holding down back too much, and that's with this SOCD thing that we were just talking about, simultaneous something cardinal directions. Sometimes it messes up like if I want to jump, right? So if I'm holding down and I press jump, it like doesn't go. Shout out to the Asian guy in the bottom left. That's Daigo. That's Daigo. That's the Asian guy in the bottom left, dude. Have you ever seen this video? Hold on, let me find it. One of the best gaming videos of all time. I bet you guys have seen this. Daigo. Full parry. You guys ever seen this video?
Rare footage of Daigo actually angry.
This is the guy. This is the guy. The guy who wins this match is the guy that was on the screen, is being perceived as one of the best fighting game players of all time. He's like he was like for his time, he was like considered like the Michael Jordan, you know, the faker, versus Justin Wong. This is one of the coolest fucking moments in gaming ever, man. Let's go, Justin! Dude, the crowd goes fucking wild, dude. Them just playing on the fucking CRT monitors and a big group of people. That's Seth Killian talking on the mic there. That's Seth Killian talking on the mic. He's fucking sick, bro. I wonder if he still is doing game development or not. Because he was a fighting game community manager for Street Fighter 4, I'm pretty sure.
レバーを使った方がいいとか、パッドを使った方がいいとか、そういうことは、あると。
So Daigo, the reason they're referencing Daigo is like he was perceived as like the Michael Jordan of fighting games, and when this guy switched his controller, it had an effect on the entire community of all fighting games, and him seeing it being perceived as like the best tool to play the game is just like so interesting, because, you know, for a long time it was seen as like the people's perception on it is that it wasn't good, and that the arcade stick was the best thing. And then it suddenly shifted to be like,
does change, it will be
it's
a reversal
cheating
of most recent trends in fighting games. So from the standpoint of pure effectiveness, it does seem as if the hitbox is here to stay. So where are we now? And what does the future hold for the hitbox? Right now, in 2022, Capcom forces SOCD cleaning on conflicting left-right inputs and forces up or neutral on conflicting up-down inputs. And if we had to guess, the former will probably become the standard, while the latter will probably change. Everyone is living in a post-hitbox world right now, and top players are switching over en masse. Of the top 8 players for Street Fighter V at EVO 2022, 5 of them were using leverless controllers, including Daigo Umehara, 3rd place finisher Gachikun, and the champion Kawano. And even if sticks don't disappear completely, this could be the first time in fighting game history that joysticks take a back seat.
そっちだと思う。その新しいものをどんどん
yeah, I think the person who won
知った方
EVO was
がいい
using
な
a
って思って
pad
ます
though.
ただやっぱりアーケードスティックの文化だったり、僕はもともとそっちから始めたんで、そっちの利点ももちろん分かってますし、全然そっちに戻して今後やるってことも全然できるとは思うんで、それは昔というか今でも全然使ってる人いますし、それで強い人ももちろんおるんで、そこを別に否定とかするつもりはないんですけど、でもまあどっちもあっていいんじゃないかなっていうふうには思ってます。で、やっぱなんかトレンドというか、なんかこう新しい風みたいなのをこうね入れていかんと、なんかシーンとしてもちょっとこう盛り上がりを見せることがなかなか難しいんかなとかいうふうには思うんで、
This guy's basically saying
なんかやれることがあるんだったらヒットボックスでもやってってもいいかな
that everything can exist at the same time.
The question is whether Hitbox should take over the FGC. Because let me tell you, there are lots of people who don't think it should. For one, allowing Hitbox could be the start of a technological arms race. Imagine a world where everyone is constantly adding new features to their controllers. It would be a nightmare for players and
This kind of happened
TOs.
in Smash, if I remember correctly. I don't know how much you guys are into like high level Smash, but like there's a difference between like the standard controller and what a pro uses on their Smash controllers. I still understand the argument about left plus right at the same time being unfair. It's an input that is literally impossible in normal play. It's true. But that's where the SOCD thing comes in, right? That's why they immediately transitioned into that part, is they make it to where if you are able to press left and right at the same time, it doesn't have an impact on the game. It will default to a specific input. It will so if you're pressing left and right at the same time, Like, it's not like you're able to block both directions like you were in another game. What happens is it's just like if you press left and right at the same time, it goes to neutral. It goes to like you're not pressing a button, basically. And that's why they brought that up. It's like, okay, now that's what happens. Like it before it was a problem, before it was an issue, and now it's not an issue because they've developed a system that makes it fair. So it's like, okay, if you're pressing left and right at the same time, it doesn't do anything. Or it's like, oh, it defaults to whatever you pressed first or whatever you pressed last. It just depends like on the game or your controller or whatever you want it to do. So it doesn't create an unfair advantage, but the unfair advantage part is the ability to press those buttons faster than what you would be able to move your stick left or right because you're like hovering your finger or you are already pressing it or whatever. So there is still like a millisecond advantage versus like physically moving your controller, your joystick to the left or right, you know?
If you're gonna cheat and use a hitbox, I would put as many buttons as I want on it. I would put them exactly where I want them to be, and I would maximize on the cheatingness. So if there's any way for you to make it so that both sides, you know, left and right are active at the same time, whatever it is, I recommend you bend those rules as far as they'll go, but don't break them.
And to just say, okay, sure, let players do whatever they want and we'll just make up the rules as we go, feels a lot like the let the athletes cheat all they want as long as the playing field is level argument.
It really is similar to a corked bat. A corked bat is banned because it allows someone who is an expert at hitting home runs to hit them even further. But it doesn't mean that if you give Rip a corked bat, hey, hit a home run, he's not gonna be able to do it. You know, it's not a miracle worker, but what it does do is it takes someone who's an expert and elevates them to a level that really, the game is just not designed that way.
Now, some of the discussion often revolves around the difficulty of
a corked bat is a good analogy.
There's some shit that's free out of the gate, but hitbox is not intuitive.
Forward, diagonal, down, SOCD, because left and right, they cancel each other out, meaning you get down individually, and then I release in that same order, so.
But honestly, top players will adapt. Winning is literally their job. Plus, while hitbox may not seem intuitive if you're a fighting game diehard who grew up with a Sanwa in your hands, many new players coming to fighting games have experience with PC gaming, so they've probably used WASD controls. So if it's not going to be banned, fighting game developers will need to consider the existence of the hitbox when designing future titles.
If they break the game using hitbox, to me, I'm thinking forward, developers need to consider hitbox in the future with their input reading systems and with their design philosophy and their balancing.
This video was 2 years ago. There's a bunch of new fighting games that are coming out that are completely considering all of this stuff. And they're even thinking about it in the sense of like, you know, breaking motion controls altogether to where these problems that, you know, like 2XKO is going to have no motion inputs. It's all one button specials and you know, multi-button like auto combos and stuff, right? It works like how Modern works a lot. And so like when you don't even have these complex controls and the accessibility is basically just Modern out of the gate, then like advantages like this don't matter as much. I don't know, I've always felt like they're kind of lame because they trivialize a lot of combos in games. What trivialize a lot of combos? Hitboxes? They definitely don't. It's still really hard to like use them. Like I played, so just to kind of like, I'm much better on an arcade stick because I've practiced and I've played with it for, I don't know, years, honestly, but not really, I guess. I don't know. And I just have 2 days on this hitbox that I have, and I'm trying a leverless controller, and I can't do nearly half of the shit that I was able to do like 2 days ago on an arcade stick. If I played an arcade stick, I'll be twice as good right now. you know, because it's just like stuff to learn. So it definitely doesn't trivialize them. I'm not sure what you're talking about by trivializing. Unless you're talking about the modern control thing that I was just talking about. Which, like, yeah. Yeah, but that, like, that the trade-off. But going from, like, an Xbox controller to a pad with a stick or a hitbox, it... See, that's kind of the thing I was just talking about. It's like, the games, every type of, you know, controller or whatever has its own advantages and disadvantages. And right now the conversation is like, is the hitbox, the leverless controller, the best type of controller? And generally the answer that everyone seems to give is yes, but it has its own disadvantages. And how much of an advantage is it actually giving? You know, it's like if you were to hand a guy, if we were to just talk about this in like an analogy of like tools, right? And you gave a guy a tool that was like a better hammer, and you gave another guy a tool that was a hammer, like one of them is going to have a disadvantage, but like, will it matter whenever they need to hammer 10 nails? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you got to hammer these 10 nails, and it's like, how much is it going to matter? You know what I mean? And like to the point of like the Xbox controller is that people are making it and winning tournaments with the Xbox controller. You're using that as your baseline, is what you said. But going from like an Xbox controller, people win tournaments with Xbox controllers. They literally win the best in the game. And it's like, how much does it matter? So like, it does matter because you can get an advantage. But how much does the advantage matter when everything that this guy could do on a hitbox is capable still on a controller, on an Xbox controller? And I'm just playing devil's advocate because I do think hitbox and leverless does give, you know, an advantage. But is it enough to where like it should be banned or standardized or restricted or, you know, whatever you want to say, right? Like, I don't think so. I think it's an example of expression. A lot of times the controller that a person picks in a fighting game is an expression of their type of like, how they want to play. I'm just saying from my perspective, doing fatalities on Xbox controller versus a pad was a lot easier. Yeah. And you know, but like, could you, how much of that is your muscle memory, intuitiveness? Like, it's going to be case by case for sure. You know, it's going to be case by case. The controller debate is endless. And that's what this whole video is about, right? It's like, and that's why I find it interesting. It's because on one hand, you could frame it as like, there's clear advantages to using a different type of controller and what sort of like restrictions and limits should they put on that or whatever. But then at the same time, it's like, how much should they limit and restrict? Because sometimes it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on the difficulty of the game, the difficulty of like using one versus the other. Because the thing that you're talking about, I feel like is almost a non-issue. It's an issue to you. But if you were to practice on both of those controllers for less than, I don't know, a week or whatever, you could do it on both. I'm sure you would probably be able to do it on both. If you just practiced and did it, and then you could be like, I could do it on both, so it doesn't matter. Do you have an advantage on one or the other if you practiced on both? No, you don't have an advantage because it's like, it's literally just muscle memory. It's a tool that you have to learn how to use. Right now, I have an advantage on using an arcade stick because I'm more practiced with it. And I do. What do you mean by sometimes it doesn't matter? They wouldn't do it if it didn't matter. Am I not getting that concept across? Like, that's what I was trying to say with the hammer thing, right? Is sometimes it doesn't matter. You could take all of those players and you could put them, if they took all that time that they practiced on whatever tool that they picked, and this was the tool that they picked, right? And they could do everything that they could do on another tool. It's almost a matter of preference. That's basically what I'm saying. It's a matter of preference. And like, yes, like one has different advantages than the other. Like if you're listening to the video and they were talking about how an arcade stick has better advantages to doing certain things. Like one example was doing full circles. Doing full circles on an arcade stick is easier, you know? Or doing full circles even on a joystick on an Xbox is probably easier than doing it on this, right? Like maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And each controller has their own advantages. And it's like, how do you limit something like that? And how much does it matter? Could I pick up a controller and do 360 inputs? Yeah, probably. Can I do it on this? Yeah, probably. Which one's easier? I don't know. Does it matter? Because I can do it on both. Is that getting my point across? I feel like that perfectly explains my point. Which one's easier to do it on? I don't know. Maybe one or the other, but can I do it on both? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, does it matter or doesn't matter? I don't know. It's a constant conversation. Right now, where it stands in the fighting game community is as long as you can't do things that would be considered cheating, like the thing that we talked about very from the start, which is like holding back and forward at the same time, causing you to be able to block either direction simultaneously, that does not work anymore. But whenever this first came into the scene, that was a problem. What's stopping people from having both controller schemes on one controller if there is no standard controller? Well, that's kind of what the cross-up was. I think everyone should be forced to play on a DDR pad. Holy shit, that would be insane. Imagine, dude. Imagine. What's stopping people from having both control schemes on one controller? So, do you mean like having a joystick and... So, okay, I think I kind of understand. So imagine if someone has a joystick and imagine somebody has also the buttons for the movements. There isn't something stopping people from doing that, and it exists. And it's not considered like broken or OP. The biggest thing that would stop people from doing it is like the ease of use on that controller is probably a lot more difficult, right? Like, it's less intuitive as well. But it could be possible. It could be physically possible, obviously. But you can't hold a controller. You can't hold a joystick and press buttons at the same time. And so there's a physical limitation there. But you could have a controller with a joystick and buttons. So like that's the only thing that would be stopping people. What's stopping people from having both control schemes, one controller, and if there is no standard controller? Like the controller you have right now with an extra joystick. You could do that. You could do that. And there are controllers like that do exist. Okay, what if you hear me out? What if you were born with 6 fingers on each hand? Okay. You would have a physical advantage. You would have a physical advantage. Dang, would that person be banned from playing fighting games? All right, hold on. Now think about this. What if, let's say you're not born with 6 fingers, but instead you have a disability, but your disability lets you have 6 fingers. Like you use like a robotic hand. Like let's say you were missing, I don't know. You know what I mean? Would that be a problem? Like that's some shit that's never really been talked about. Yeah. Like genetically mutating your offspring to play fighting games. Fuck yes, dude. That's so funny you bring that up. I was having a joking conversation with my friend Tranos last night about that. That's actually hilarious. Not exactly that conversation, but something along the lines of like teaching your kids to have the reactions or something so that they can be good at fighting games. Like we literally had this. That's so funny that you bring that up. I can't remember the exact conversation, but it was in that same like vein. I'm sorry, guys, if you don't find this shit interesting. I find it fascinating. There is a lot of barriers and lines that could be crossed in this whole conversation. Like in terms of exactly what you were saying. Like, that's so interesting that you bring that up. Like, what if you were born with 6 fingers? But even beyond that, what if you were using some sort of like mechanical substitute? But seriously, I've seen 6-fingered people play piano and stuff. It's just unfair. Really? Really? But here's the thing. Are they the best piano players in the world? This is actually a really great analogy. Are they the best piano players in the world? Are they well renowned as like, that is the best player in the world, and it's because he's got 6 fingers? But it kind of is like, you ever see those like people who do like arm wrestling tournaments, and the guy who's like, this is like one of the best arm wrestlers in the world, and he literally looks like fucking Wreck-It Ralph. Like, he has a genetic like thing where his hands are literally the size of his arms and shit. Like, he looks insane. Have you ever seen that guy? Like, I've seen that guy randomly pop across like YouTube shorts and shit. It's like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy looking. Yeah, dude. Like, that is like, is he allowed to play? Like, what the fuck, dude? That's fucked up. I guess you can say the same thing about like basketball players and stuff. You know, the people who are like fucking 8 foot tall. That's a genetic disorder. Like, that's not fucking normal, bro. That is crazy. You are deformed. Like, that is insane, but also physically gifted. Like, that's fucking crazy. Is that fair? Is that allowed? That's because that's allowed. That's allowed. Should they be banning people who are like, should they? Because really, your body is a controller when it comes to sports. Should they just be banning anybody who's above 6'5"? You're not allowed to play. Sorry, Yao Ming. Sorry, fucking Shaq. Yao Ming and Shaq. Sorry, you guys got to go, man. Oh, I mean, probably there's a lot more players that are over 6'5" than that. There's fucking a ton, probably. They just get banned, bro. Their controllers are too good. They're literally playing on hitboxes in the NBA, man. That's actually cheating. That's actually cheating. Imagine you have 3 arms and you're able to simply do more inputs than everyone else. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Hey, in wrestling and stuff, they have weight classes. Why not height classes in basketball? That's a good point. That's a good point. I wonder if that's ever been discussed. Probably because it's less marketable. And in wrestling, it's like it's literally 1v1. Right? It's like 1v1, and in basketball it's a team. So you assemble a team, and it's like, okay, you're going to make the best team that you can. It's not like a 1v1 sport. So maybe that's probably why they don't have like weight classes. But if they were to have like 1v1 basketball, like, what's the downside to having a freakishly tall guy? They're literally less mobile, maybe. They're probably not as fast. They're less, usually tall guys, I think, have like less dexterity, so they're not as precise when it comes to like shooting. But if they can just like walk over everyone and dunk the ball, which is what all of them do, right? Like, that's usually what happens. Like, the fucking crazy tall guy just has the ball in his hand like an apple and just moves it around from like fucking the free throw line and dunks it. Like, that's insane. Yeah, that's so funny. This is actually hilarious what this conversation has turned into. I'm fascinated. How's the learning going? Well, we got a little sidetracked by having a crazy conversation, but it's going okay. I still struggle with like holding back sometimes. So like if I'm trying to like do a jab combo into like DP, it's like a weird, or not DP, but like a quarter circle back. Down forward forward. Oh, you mean down forward forward. Down forward forward. Down forward forward. Down forward forward. See, this is what I thought you meant. Is down forward forward. I thought that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, I had that trouble too. So I have to train myself not to just like default hold back. Because I'll have problems like canceling into quarter circle back when I just like hold back during a jab string or something. So I think what I have to train myself to do is like not hold back and just like whenever I'm jabbing, just like let go of all directional keys and then cancel the quarter circle back. But the problem is I have to hold down, and then like holding down into back feels weird because I think when I would do a joystick, I'm pretty sure I would like reset to neutral, or I don't know. I'm just not, maybe I wouldn't. Like, let's say I want to cancel my jab into a quarter circle back kick. I don't have to, but it feels weird for some reason. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense in my brain. Not to my brain. It actually makes sense in my brain, but it doesn't make sense to my hands. That's a better way to put it. Wait, wasn't there a competitive fighting game player who was just horribly crippled? I don't know. I don't know who that would be. He's just a torso with little hands. I don't know. I haven't heard of that guy. I'm sure there probably is. Google brawly legs. Okay. Hold on a second. Brawly legs. It's Brawly Legs the Fighter. There's a video from Street Fighter, 6-minute video called The Fighter. I probably do remember this guy. Let's see what it says about him.
People didn't get to hear about me much, you know. It was just whispers and be like, you know, there's this guy that doesn't play with his hands.
Oh shit, he plays with his mouth? I think I do remember this guy. That guy lived down here where I live. Oh, is he dead? He was friends with this guy I played League with? Really? He has all the physical disadvantages and he still wins?
It's a bone muscle deficiency that the brain didn't tell the muscles to grow. Basically, I have very limited use in my arms and my legs.
That's sad.
They didn't allow me to, you know, walk or grab physical things or do anything that's extraneous and with strength or, you know, using the muscles inside the arms or legs. I had it since I was born, so I couldn't really do much other than, you know, the limited things like rolling around. I have full use of my neck and my head, so I was able to, you know, talk and meet people at eye level and look around and stuff. My parents have been supportive of me.
That's the PogChamp guy. Yo, what's up, Radio? Fury Chronic. Holy shit, he called him Fury Chronic. Hey, Radio, what's up, man?
Old. They bought me my first NES on my birthday. My dad was pushing me to play the game and see if I could do it, you know. Seeing their handicapped son, they're not, you know, fully aware of what I'm able to do.
You're back from Vegas? How did the World Series of Poker go? I wonder if you met fucking Bob there, dude.
Me growing up and entering the FGC as, you know, a disabled player, you know, it has its bumps here and there, but it's not unwelcoming at all. You know, it's.
Did you win any money?
A small place for everyone in the community. Whatever game you learn. When I started learning Street Fighter, I learned through people telling me I was nothing, that I would never be good in the game. This and that. It really drove me. Yeah, they were my friends, but I needed that to encourage me to be better. I did always get that look, you know, when someone had to play me. You know, they looked at me and they're like,
that's fucking crazy, bro.
A free win?
Imagine playing with your mouth. That is insane. We had an amazing series. I may go back a few more events. Positive 15K for the summer after expenses. Dude, good fucking shit, bro. That is really impressive, Radio. Bro, his friends were assholes. I know because I was there. I was their friend too. I had to drop them. Couldn't be around them. Damn. That's crazy. You knew this guy, Fury. What the fuck? My friends are assholes. I know because I was their friend too. I couldn't be around them. I had to drop them. I feel that, Alpaca. That's actually so funny. What do you mean? Come on, your friends are nice, Alpaca. What do you mean you feel that? My buddy won an event again, and I had 5% for bad friends. Dude, that's crazy. Well, congrats on winning 15K, Radio. Being 15K positive. That's pretty cool, man. My other toxic friends. And then I became the bad friend. That's right.
By, and you know, it kind of gave me that drive to beat them, because I was like, no, you know, I'm here to knock you out. The simplest thing that I tell
That's
people that are
badass.
dealing with this.
Imagine talking shit to this guy because he can't play the game without using his mouth, and then him kicking your ass. That would be crazy. That would be fucking crazy, dude. That would be hype, bro. They should make a movie about this guy. Hell yeah, we played poker well. Bad friend, good tank. Dude, Fury is a good friend and a good tank. The best X tank. I'm just kidding. He's not a tank anymore, guys. He's a DPSer, okay?
Is make sure you get good, because no one's gonna treat anyone differently or anyone special if you're just another player that just loses, because that's all people see. And that's what I did. You know? I didn't want people's sympathy. I didn't want people's pity when they saw me playing. I wanted them to see, man, this guy's really good. I want to be a good symbol to other players. I want to be something that they can aspire to when they have trouble. Hey, I can't hit this combo, or maybe I have problems, you know, playing on the right side or left side.
You know what's crazy is this was in Street Fighter 4, and the game Street Fighter 4 was fucking hard, bro. Like that game was harder than this game executionally. Like Street Fighter 4 had some crazy shit in it. No excuses, you literally have hands. True, man. So here you go, man. Why are we arguing about controllers? If this guy can be executionally good and he's playing with his fucking mouth, then like, does it really? There you go. That perfectly expresses it. It's like, yeah, people have advantages and disadvantages, but if everyone is capable, then does it matter enough to ban these like forms of tools? Does it matter enough that we need to like just like, if everyone has the potential to be capable, he must give crazy head. What the fuck is wrong with you? Two hands fail. I know, man. I can't even do this combo.
Oh, hey, if I could do it, man, you can do it. And that really resonates with them, and they say, you know what, you're right. You
That's
know, I have
crazy,
nothing to complain
Alpaca.
about. Because ultimately, I want to help, and I want to be that light to other people. You know, I do get those spells here and there where I don't want to, you know, I don't want to deal with anything, and you know, I just feel this emptiness. But you know, Street Fighter help. It's like the best thing ever when you get a read on somebody. It's like when you know that this guy's gonna jump and you jump before he jumps. It's like you know, you can't explain it because you just
You're in
know
their
that
fucking
you're
head,
inside the
dude.
opponent's head. Or
Yeah.
when I, you know, do an Ultra 1 on a guy that's barely about to throw his fireball. It's like, I knew you were gonna throw a fireball. I knew that you were gonna get punished this way, and this is what got me the win. It's just the best thing because it takes so much time to.
I do
to
remember
that,
this
you know,
guy.
to be able to play your
That's
opponents
sad
and
that he
read
passed
patterns
away.
and see his movements and make that educated guess that he's gonna do.
At
this
least he was
move
a
at this
fucking
time,
legend
and
in
I'm
the
just gonna
fighting
not
game
hesitate.
world, dude.
It's, you know, it's what I live for. It's how I play, and I try to make it in every single match. You know, if it wasn't for Street Fighter, I don't know where you know, I would think I'm just this other, you know, disabled player, another disabled guy, you know, that needs help. But when I play Street Fighter, it's like I want to be the person that, you know, dashes forwards and jumps in on people and tries to rush them down. That's my style.
So he was a Chun
That's
player.
the thing that I really enjoy about Street Fighter is that I'm able to project myself with the character that I play.
this, Brawly. Come on.
Fuck yeah, he wants to be a hot fucking muscle leg Chun-Li. Let's go!
The doors that have opened in my life has all been because of Street Fighter. I've been able to travel to Atlanta or Tennessee, you know, you meet all these great, wonderful people, you know, in the FGC. I wouldn't have been able to meet any of them, and so not having Street Fighter around, man, I don't know. I'd probably still be at home, you know, doing, I don't know.
He doesn't even know. He's like, watching anime. brother. It's a anime. It's about a brother and a sister. That's cool, man. Brawly legs, dude. I wonder how he got his name. Oh man, that's awesome, dude. Fuck yeah. What a perfect segue. Brawly's from Dragon Ball, right? Yeah, he is. So maybe he was just saying like, yeah, he's got no hands, but he's got the fucking Brawly legs, bro. He should be like, I got that Brawly tongue, Brawly mouth. That's what they call it. He's the fucking Brawly mouth, bro. That's the real name for him. He fucking trained his tongue. Damn, bro, he go crazy. That's so badass. Would you guys be able to do that, you think? There's no fucking shot. I would be impressed if any of us can I buy a controller full of space? Do you think any of us could like do a combo like with our mouth on a controller? I would not be able to. There is no fucking shot, dude. Yeah, he came to mind because I remember seeing a clip of Low Tier God losing to him. Oh, fuck! And trash talking him for the lack of legs. And Brian Legs just claps back. Called him trash. That's badass, bro. Fighting game knows no bounds. They know no bounds, dude. What's one? There was one, it's like a really good one, actually. That was fun. What's that guy's name? JM Crofts. This guy does really good videos too. I should watch more of his stuff. Oh yeah, bro. He's got 3.4 million views on this video. All right, you want to hear about some fucking drama, bro? You want to watch a drama video? Low Tier God and that little nerdy guy. Bro, I stopped watching JM Croft because some stuff he said. What did he say? Oh, come on. He's getting canceled? Dang it, bro. Can't get into it? Oh, man. It's too public? Well, fuck. Now I can't watch his video. I guess we just, here's a good one, dude. It's nothing bad? I'd get canceled. True, Radio. I'm gonna cancel you. All right, we're gonna watch this one. This is about how fighting game's greatest villain met his match to an unlikely rival. I don't know if you guys ever seen this video before.
What is up, guys?
Is it playing? There we go.
I am back with yet another great moments in fighting game history analysis video. What we're looking at right now is Kane Blue River versus Filipino champ in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They are doing a 1st to 15 grudge match at Winter Brawl 2016. So few years ago,
Hey, what's this fighting game opinion about some stuff? Okay, you'll have to tell me later. You have to tell me later if it's bad. It's too public. Okay.
guys played, and there was just a little bit of bad blood between these two, I would say. If you watch maybe the on-stage body language after this first match took place, Filipino champ on the left there. Oh, calling him free right after he wins the first round, immediately smack-talking his opponent.
Have you ever seen this
Let's
video?
talk a little bit about the history between these two players before we jump into the rest of the match here. So Filipino champ, one of the greatest Marvel 3 players of all time at this point. 2011, the first year that original Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, he got top 8. And then this is 2012, EVO Grand Finals, Filipino champ won, the first year that Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was released. He ended up taking first place and becoming the world champ. So pretty impressive results there, and generally, you know, he just always does well in tournament at this game and is considered one of the best. F-Champ is also very well known for sort of his attitude, for his reputation as being someone who really likes to smack talk. He likes to taunt and troll his opponents in the middle of matches. He will taunt his opponents mid-match. He will even, after defeating them, he will talk smack on them.
I'm not used to fighting people who has...
I would hate playing against this guy, bro. And that's why he does it, probably, right? Like, it probably is just gets under their skin. He taunts them, gets them emotional. They start to make mistakes. I would imagine that's probably why he, like, still does it. Like, at least he probably has a positive perception on, like, talking shit in the middle of a match.
But doesn't have a lot of IQ. I'm sorry, okay, but he's really an idiot. Okay, I fight
Holy
people who is really smart, who would adapt. Like, he got the grand finals, even though he looks like a pelican. Congratulations, he got his second.
And on the other end of the matchup, we have Kane Blue River. He's a player from Chile. He came a little bit later to the Marvel scene. He didn't really start traveling and putting up results in tournaments until the game had been out a couple of years.
Like a pelican.
But his play with these big body characters, Hulk, Sentinel, Hagar, was really second to none. I don't think anyone had ever seen these characters perform that well in tournament up to this point. But he's really excellent at taking these characters who have a hard time getting in. They're very slow and clunky, but once they get in, they can kill characters or entire teams extremely quickly. So here he is winning EVO 2015, which was a really exciting result and pretty unprecedented for someone playing a team like that. And let's just say that Filipino champ had some things to say about KBR winning EVO.
What can you tell us about KBR? Your opinion of Kane Blue River, the EVO champ for EVO 2015?
Man, he's a hard worker. He definitely earned the title. He beat Justin Wong, he beat Ray Ray, he beat a lot of good players on the ways. But I do think that if he would run into me, it would have been a different story. Like, if I was in his pools, he would probably go 0-2.
Ego.
Because, you know what I'm saying? But that's besides the point.
And so that's what brings us back to this match here. People had donated money for Kane Blue River to be able to travel to the Winter Brawl tournament because they wanted to see a match between these two players, KBR and F-Champ, the former EVO champions, one from 2012 and one from 2015. Filipino champ winning the first round, calling KBR free, but that's just the start of things. It really starts to go crazy throughout this set. I'm going to be skipping through some of the games here, just to kind of show you the important parts that happen along the way. After winning 2 more matches and making it 3-0, Filipino champ had this to say.
This is my game!
Oh,
God damn, bro.
Told KBR, this is my game.
After winning 3 more and making it 6-0, Filipino
Why
champ
didn't you win the tournament
intentionally
then?
pauses the game, runs over to the broadcasting desk, intentionally basically conceding a round to Filipino champ. If you pause, you automatically lose the round. But he's just doing this, he says on the mic.
Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? This is my charity. Give him a point.
He says that this is his charity. Just give him a free point. Continuing the smack talk, continuing the trolling. A little while later, we're all the way up to 4-10. And 2 of the matches that KBR has won were Filipino champ intentionally pausing. He has taken 2 matches, playing some different teams. He's moving his way around the character select screen, but not really finding anything that sticks. Filipino champ showing a very strong advantage in pretty much all of these matches. At match number 17, it's 4-12 right now. KBR looking strong, actually, with an interesting Firebrand and Iron Man team. He's doing fairly well, but something important to note about Filipino champ's team is he runs Phoenix. And if Phoenix dies with 5 bars of super available, she turns into Dark Phoenix, who is the strongest character in the game. And it's really, really difficult to win against Dark Phoenix. She can pretty much destroy entire teams, like, instantly. The only really consistent way to deal with this character is to either kill their entire team before she can build up 5 meters, or to have some kind of setup that catches Dark Phoenix out. But generally, if things don't go that way, if she does transform into Dark Phoenix, it's usually a free win for the Phoenix player. So that's something that's going to come up a lot, since Filipino champ is considered one of the better Phoenix players out there. And he's going to try to get those 5 bars as quickly as he can in all of these matches. Now at this point, KBR does switch back to his main team, the Hulk Hagar Sentinel team. He gets a pretty clutch comeback here with Sentinel, manages to make it 6-13, trying to reduce that deficit a little bit. Immediately afterward,
20,
this
right?
next game here, really early X Factor. Hulk puts out huge damage, especially when he burns X Factor. So again, here what he's going to do is he's going to kill Filipino champ's team as fast as he can before champ is able to build 5 bars and have the potential for that Dark Phoenix. So this is basically like what an optimal match with KBR's team looks like. He's even snapping Phoenix in to kill her faster, lands the hit. Phoenix extremely low health, so she does die in only a few hits. But again, you have to kill her twice, assuming she has 5 bars. But that didn't happen this match. KBR putting another point on the board, 7-13. He's got over 50% of the round wins that champ has. I mean, how bad could it be? He could bring this back, right? Next match, he starts putting in hits really early on Magneto and Doom. Snaps in Phoenix, hits her with the 50-50, jumping over so that you have to guess what side is the Hagar assist going to hit on. Goes for the same 50-50 against Dr. Doom. I have no idea what side that hit on. But Phoenix died before he could get 5 meters. And boom, there you go. Go ahead and kills F-Champ's team again, making it 8-13. Bringing it back.
Hey, Crocky, what's up, man?
All right, the next match.
You know who killed this game? Who killed this game? Phoenix fell off hard? Really? What, are you talking about like a new character? Hey, Crocky, how's it going, man? What's up, dude? Chris G. Was he like really good at it or what? I kind of remember that. I didn't really follow Marvel too much when he came in doing all his zoning stuff. Was he playing like what's his name, Magneto or whatever?
Match. Kane Blue River.
How are you doing, Crocky? What's up, man?
Phoenix, but she does have 5 bars. Manages to land another bizarre cross up on her, transforming her into Dark Phoenix. Raw Super randomly crosses up, I guess. It's a little bit unclear why champ.
Good. Are you gonna make mythic it up with us tomorrow? I've been waking up a little late. I'll try to wake up and play. That would be fun for before reset. Fuck yeah, dude. Are you gonna play the pre-patch tomorrow? That's the real question, bro. What is that? What is that face, dude? Pre-patch or Diablo 4?
Got hit there, but look, there you go, 9-13. Everyone's starting to feel hope in the crowd.
Honestly, I should try to
this could
level my warlock a bit
back.
and get the Joyous Journey.
Next game, snap in Phoenix again. Got to kill her fast. Blocks the 50-50, but randomly gets hit in a bit of a scramble. Kane taking another game? I mean, it looks like it, right? Look, there you go. He's making it 10-13. The hope is still alive. Filipino champ looking worried. I mean, look at him.
True, dude. You know what? I didn't get my freaking I didn't get my belt. I should do that. It like makes you strong, right? It gives you like some sort of buff or something. Or is it just really good eye level? Okay, what's the plan, dude? Are we gonna have me, you, Justin, and Justice And we're gonna do some +6s or something. I gotta check my vault. Oh, Crocky. Okay, I remember. I was thinking. Have you ever played Chain together? I think that would be a fun one. You have? Okay, so you own it. Have you beat it? Me, you, and Alpaca. Oh, it was one of your very first videos. Oh, shit. That was before I even found Crocky. Definitely didn't beat it. Dude, me, you, and Alpaca should play Chain together. Wouldn't that be funny? You removed it? Why did you remove it? That would be a funny stream one day, I feel like. Cringe, unironically. It was cringe. It can't be as cringe as me disconnecting 6 times in one stream. It wasn't a stream, but a recording. Oh, so it was a YouTube video? Oh, I have a question. Because I recently am having issues. And I think it might be related to how much upload I put. So whenever you go into your OBS, right? And you have your settings, right? So I go to settings and I'll go to output. What bit rate do you run your stream at? Because I'm trying to figure out what the root of my problem is. Because I was having some issues. And the issues that I was seeing was like 6,000 for Twitch, 10K for YouTube. Okay. I had my OBS set at 8K at one point, and I dropped it down to 7K. And I saw some videos that were saying like you can run Twitch at 8K even though it's limited to 6. You can run it at 8K and it'll do fine, and you still have all your like you know, your options and stuff. And it was working really well for months. For like literally, like I was running it like that for like probably like 5 months. And just recently, within the last like I don't know, within the last couple of weeks, I've been having a lot of issues. And today specifically, I disconnected 4 times. One of them was a computer issue. But I disconnected 4 times, and like I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And every time I noticed that my bit rate was like spiking up. And it was usually like I would put a video on the screen and start playing it, and then my bit rate would like spike up to like 12K, even though I have it capped at 8, right? Or I had it capped at 7. And so now I put it at 6, and sometimes it goes above. Like right now it's 6.5, and now it just dropped down to 5 point. You know, it hovers between like 6 and 7 or whatever, or 5 and 7, I guess. But like whenever it would spike, it would like disconnect me. Do I have dynamic bitrate on? I think I have controlled. Stream, output, constant. I have constant bitrate. If that's what you're talking about. I don't think I have dynamic on. But yeah, I was just having some problems, and since I changed that like an hour ago, an hour and 20 minutes it's been. I've been doing that, and it hasn't messed up yet, but I'm wondering, like, you know, it's kind of hard to tell. Now it's a setting in advanced. Yeah, I mean, I have advanced settings on. I don't see anything about dynamic. Problem is that you're losing frames quickly and your internet can't hang. I'm not sure if that's what it is. Because I'm not disconnecting from YouTube. I think it's a bitrate thing. Like my Twitch will crash and YouTube is fine. And I moved away from restreaming, went to ATEM. I'm gonna do that. I wanna do that setup. I'm a little worried about my computer. The reason I wanted to use Restream in the first place because it's less like CPU intensive than like having multiple streams running or whatever. But I think it should be fine. I might be limited on some of the games that I can play because my computer is not like the best or whatever. And Restream kind of works for me, but like I like the audio options that doing that setup would offer, you know. I had it set at 7K and I wanted YouTube to be higher. Yeah. I want YouTube to be higher too. I have good internet. Maybe it's a little spotty sometimes, but like if I were to do a speed test, I'm not sure if I can show this actually. But it doesn't shut off the music for the VODs. I mean, it's some music plays on Twitch, but not on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So currently I have 877 download and 107 upload. Wait, that girl is thick. My character? You like my character, dude? Or are you talking about my internet? Yeah, this is Elena. She's the newest character in Street Fighter right now. And I got a new controller, so I'm just kind of practicing trying to get used to this controller. Got a jet. Yo, Radio, thanks for stopping by and saying hello, and congrats on your doing so well at the World Series of Poker. And I hope to see you again soon. Sorry, I got derailed by that ass. Holy shit. Let's see, can I do a taunt? There's a taunt right there. What the fuck? I'm not good at doing all the taunt buttons. That's a taunt right there. She can do a handstand. I think she can like... I can help you with the setup whenever you're ready to move. All right, I'll take you up on that probably. Yeah. There we go. I got the handstand. That's actually sick. Look at that. Yeah, I probably will take you up on that, honestly. Do you feel like it's a lot more CPU intensive? That's the only thing that's been really keeping me away from doing that. Because, like, you know, I think it would be cool because I'd also want to, like, try streaming. I don't know. Even, like, if I'm multi-streaming, I might as well multi-stream to, like, other platforms too. But what graphics card do you have? Fuck, dude. I always forget the name of it. Have it somewhere here. It is a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070.
You can try this one too.
Yeah, and I have an AMD Ryzen 7 5700 3.4 gigahertz with 32 gigabytes of RAM. Use your GPU instead of your CPU. I do have it set up for that. So it won't matter, you think? When I say like PC intensive, I just mean in general, right? I do have it going through my Well, at least like, let me see. Settings, output. Yeah, my video encoder is using the INVEC or whatever. I'm not very good at stuff like this. It doesn't when you use GPU. Okay, so if I use GPU, it will be fine. And I'll be able to do the Axiom plugin or whatever you're talking about. I'll look into that. Honestly, I'll look into that. I have some other stuff to look into because I keep every like week or so I get like a blue screen, so I need to really figure that out. So maybe like after my stream today, I'll just with some tests, it would be good. Yeah. I want to do the audio thing. That's the biggest motivator for me. Honestly, having the higher bitrate on the YouTube videos would be really cool too. So that your YouTube videos are like crisper and cleaner. Do you notice a big difference between like the 6K and 10K? I'd imagine it would be a lot cleaner. Use ChatGPT to troubleshoot. Holy shit, this guy is using AI to his advantage. Look at that shit. That's crazy. I haven't looked at my streams on YouTube lately. I just know I noticed a pretty big difference when I upped my bitrate when I was feeling like it was a little blurry. Kind of lame that, like, why the fuck does Twitch only give you a 6K limit? That's fucking stupid. Alright, check this combo out. Boom. Oh, I dropped it. Okay. Boom, boom. They're talking about upping it to 8K. That's interesting because that's what I was using was 8K and it was working fine for like months. And now I'm having some problems. Yeah, but like I watched a YouTube video about what sort of settings and stuff to use. And they were saying that you can use 8K. But that must have changed in the last like couple of months. Like I know that they're saying that you're not able to use 6K or whatever, or there's a limit. According to this YouTube video, it was like working. Well, as long as I'm awake in time, I will be down to do some mythics tomorrow. Set a little alarm. No guarantees though. But I also have a lot of other stuff I'm interested in doing tomorrow in the gaming world. The Diablo season is going to start, which I'm going to play. There's a little bit of a low hype around it, honestly. If Doink could hear me say that, he'd probably be cringing right now. And then, yeah, there's also the pre-patch, the mob pre-patch, dude. So I'm going to have to figure out which character I want to use my boost on. I'm not quite sure. Low hype? There's low hype around the Diablo one, yeah. Diablo, you know, Diablo has all its haters, bro. People hate on Diablo pretty heavily. Sometimes for good reason. But I always have fun. I always have fun playing Diablo, to be honest. I think there's a lot of hype around the MOP expansion, but I don't know about pre-patch. Like pre-patch is usually kind of boring. It's not boring if you need to level a character. Gotta hop into this meeting. All right, man. It was good talking to you. Have a good time at your meeting. We'll be back. Okay. I'm gonna keep watching this video.
But oh, Champ wins another one with Phoenix. Okay, only one more win and Champ puts it away. And Champ is destroying him in this last game. He's down to just Hagar. He's using Magneto's repulsion to keep Hagar away. This character's too slow. With no assists, he can't get in. What can you do? You just gotta sit there blocking beams. You can't get close. Raw super's not gonna help. He just wants to get close. It's so hard. It's so hard against Magneto. All right, he lands the lariat. X Factor. Okay. Okay, signs of life. Maybe he can still do it. Okay, 50-50. Dark Phoenix has 5 meters, but I mean, maybe. Look, he's gonna. Okay, he dropped. Oh, he dropped. Champ lands the hit. Champ takes. Okay, Champ wins. Champ wins 10-15. It's over. It's over. Well.
Damn, they didn't even handshake.
Okay, maybe it's not over. Okay, I thought. Okay, the first to 15 is over, but that's not the end of the story. Okay. That was only day 1 of Winter Brawl.
That Mike Ross?
That was an exhibition. The tournament still hadn't happened yet. And
No,
lo and
that's not
behold,
Mike Ross.
who makes it to grand finals of the tournament? It's KBR and F Champ. Filipino Champ still in winner's bracket, hasn't lost a game yet, or a match, I should say. KBR in loser's bracket already has 1 loss. This is a double elimination tournament. So to win the whole tournament, KBR is going to have to take 2 sets off of Filipino Champ, and Filipino Champ only has to take 1 set. So is that going to be possible after the trouncing he just received in that first to 15? 15-10, and 2 of those 10 were freebies. I don't know. Let's see how it goes in the first set here. Game 1, right off the bat, Hulk again trying to get in on Magneto. It's always difficult. Making him block the drone's assist, and he gets the throw into the Hagar assist. That looks like it's a dead Magneto. Hulk can kill you so fast, as long as he gets that hit. That's the hard part, is getting in. Throws Phoenix onto the drones. He's gonna kill her way before she gets to 5 meters. No problem. And now he gets 50-50s on incoming. Hit by the hit grab. Now he's gonna kill Doom, right? He's got all the meter in the world.
This is justice.
Yeah, level 1.
Fucking yipes in the background, dude.
Level 1. Level 1. Yipes on commentary. It's getting
Yipes
really
crazy.
riled up. I don't think Yipes was happy with Filipino Champ's behavior in the first to 15. So there's definitely a little bit of bias from his end on the commentary. But Champ has X Factor level 3 Magneto. In case you're not aware, X Factor scales in this game to how many characters you have left. If you've only got 1 character left, X Factor becomes insanely potent and lasts a really, really long time. So we'll see if X Factor 3 is enough for Champ to take this first game. And no, it's not going to be enough. KBR takes game 1. Not too shabby. Game 2, KBR activates Dark Phoenix. Goes for the Lariat, manages to keep her blocking. Using the invincibility on Lariat there to keep her locked down so she can't do any of those Dark Phoenix shenanigans and just blow up the entire team. Calling in supers to waste the X Factor 3 time. And he lands a low with Sentinel. Kills Dark Phoenix. 2-0 KBR. Not bad. Game 3 ends up being a very textbook Filipino Champ win. Zones KBR out. Just felt completely helpless with those big body characters. So hard to get in. Game 4 looking pretty much the same. Looking absolutely helpless for KBR. Getting completely destroyed by Magneto and Dr. Doom. Looking tough. 2-2. And again, if KBR wins 1 more game, he's still got to win another set on top of that. Game 3, KBR gets in with Hulk, kills Magneto, takes Doom really low. Starting to look like what you want when you're playing Hulk. Big dunk on Dr. Doom. And only 3, almost 4 meters on Dark Phoenix. He's going to need... And only 4 he's going to meter Phoenix activation. F-Champ pumping an X Factor in an attempt to not die here, but I don't think...
not like specific allergies, but like seasonal allergies, you know? Like, probably like, I don't know. I do have, yeah. Oh my god, no.